And this morning there are some new questions about the accuracy of COVID-19 tests. And as you can imagine, that is creating big problems.
According to a new report, a third of all people who have COVID-19 are still testing negative for the virus. And it likely comes down to how and when we're being tested. Let's connect the dots. The biggest problem, doctors probably aren't testing us the right way, especially in the beginning. Here's how we should be getting tested. The deeper into your nasal cavity, the more copies there are of the virus. And if you don't get a sample from way back there, your results are likely to be inaccurate. But it's also important when you get tested. If it's too early into your symptoms, there may not be enough of the virus in your system yet. And keep in mind, most COVID-19 tests are still being sent out to a lab. So there is some room for error if the samples aren't being stored or sent properly. Regardless, if you have COVID-19 symptoms, protect your friends and your family by simply staying home. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Carolyn joining us once again. Carolyn, this is precisely sort of the experience you've been through in the last couple of weeks.
I mean, Ben, just listening to your Connect the Dots this morning, I'm like, that's me. That's the exact situation. And so here's the issue about all of this. You know, if you do get back tests that say that the virus is undetected, you, A, think that you're not sick and then could infect other people. And B, if we find out later that we can't get this over and over again, we don't know if we have it or not. So we don't know if we're at risk again to get it, if we are safe. Also, the other thing is, at this point, when my test results came back, I was so sick that they didn't want me to leave my house at the risk of infecting other people just to get another test.
Yeah.
It's a pickle, it's a problem, and it really is something that, you know, hopefully at this point now it's been addressed and the tests are being done properly. It's a learning curve for everybody,
Sure.
but it does, you know, open up a whole additional issue and additional problems for this whole virus.
Sure, but we're hoping that those were just, because you were one of the first in Charlotte to get that early on several weeks ago, so we're hoping some of those kinks have worked out and some of the tests are a bit more accurate. All right, Carolyn, sit tight. We'll check back in with you coming up in just a few minutes.